Okay, this is a second video on intervals, which is applying those principles that I gave you on the first video of this subject, which covered the principles of normal intervals versus altered intervals, and how you alter a normal interval, and their sizes, their names, and so on. Normal intervals is where the upper note is within this major scale of the lower note. And then you have two different types of major intervals. Normal intervals, that's the major, and then the perfect intervals, so-called. Major intervals may be made a half step smaller or a half step larger. Perfect intervals, well, they can be, and your major intervals can be made, they can be made minor or augmented. And they can also be made diminished, but not very often. But your perfect, your fourths and your fifths, the perfect, they cannot be made minor, period. They're only diminished or augmented. Now, let's apply those principles, and I hope you've worked them both on the keyboard and written some of them out, if not all of them. Give yourself a good education. Major triad, including the upper octave. Major third, because the E is part of the C major scale. I'm not working with the C major scale anymore. I'm not working with the E major scale, because it's the lower note of the interval that we're working with. Well, this is a minor third because in the E major scale you go up to G sharp, and this major interval is this minor interval. Therefore, the C major chord is made up of a major third and a minor third and a fourth, or a perfect fourth, because C is the fourth note of the G major scale. Okay, now here's another little thing. Major third, then if we put C on top, it becomes a minor sixth. So major third to a minor sixth. It's called, by the way, the rule of 9. Any interval, like the major third, inverted becomes equals at 9. So 3 plus 6 makes 9. So a third interval becomes a sixth, because 3 and 6 are 9. The third becomes a sixth. And if it's a major interval, this is a minor interval. Now, if this were a minor interval, then to invert it becomes a major interval. Okay. So those are the basic notes of the C major scale, the basic intervals. The C major 7 chord. Well, the major third, the perfect fifth, that's all the same thing. Major seventh, half step below the octave, is a major seventh. The third to the major seventh is a perfect fifth. 1, 2, 3, 4. See the scale of the bottom note. Okay? And then this, guess what? It's a major third, because 2 whole steps makes a major third. So you got a major third, a minor third, and a major third. A couple different types of thirds in a C dominant chord. Okay? And the same thing if you're going down, because even if you do go down, that's a major, well, that's a half step. That's always a minor second. Well, even going down, you don't take this as your major scale, you take this as your major scale. Then if you go down here, this is your major scale for the analysis of this interval. That's the major scale for this. Well, that's easy, because that's just an octave. Dominant. Okay, back to the major third, back to the perfect fifth, and the minor third. Now, a whole step from the octave is a major second, because this is minor second, major second. Okay? Major third, minor third as before, and we got another minor third. Major third, minor third, minor third. The C major 7, major third, minor third, major third. The dominant, C major third, the E to G is a minor third, and the G to the B flat is the minor third, based upon the major scale, the G major scale. Major third, 2 whole steps, minor third. Now E to B flat is a diminished fifth. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it's a diminished fifth. Perfect fifth made a half step smaller becomes diminished, never minor. Your fourths and fifths are never changed to minor. It's either augmented or diminished. Make sure that you understand that. Okay, so we got the diminished fifth here. And a minor third, we had that. All right, now, your scale is the E major scale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 is normal. Major, therefore. Make it a half step smaller, and it's minor. So the third to the octave is a minor 6. And I mentioned that previously. A major third inverted becomes a 6, because 3 and 6 make 9. So third becomes, a major third becomes a minor 6. Okay. Your C minor quadrad, as I'm trying to get used to saying it, rather than C minor 7th chord. Don't like that. Anyway, well, it's a minor third, because your C major scale is 2 steps. That's a step and a half. So major third, minor third. Fifth remains the same. E flat to B flat is normal. See the major scale of the lower note or the bottom note of the scale. So this is a perfect fifth. So is this. Because this is the 5th note of the C major scale. This is the 5th note of the E flat major scale, which are part of the C minor 7th chord. Are you getting an idea? I think you probably are. Okay? And up above is a minor third, because your lower note is G. Plus a major third is made up of 2 steps, a minor third is made up of a step and a half. So you've got the minor 7th there. Half diminished chord. Okay, a minor third and a minor third and a diminished 5th. Okay, there's just stacked minor thirds. And if you went up to another minor third, you'd have the diminished quadrad, or the diminished 7th chord. But we don't have that. We've got the half diminished here. And on top, we've got the major third. So this is a diminished triad. That's a minor 7th. So it's only half diminished. Diminished triad, minor 7th. Diminished triad, diminished 7th. The whole thing is diminished. So half diminished. Okay? And, then, of course, you got the major second from the B flat to the C, if you take it on up there. There we go. And the diminished chord is a completely separate entity. And they're all minor thirds. And you got 2 tritones, by the way, on the diminished 7th chord. Diminished 5th, diminished 5th. Perfect 5th, diminished 5th. Perfect 5th, diminished 5th. Diminished 5th, diminished 5th. 2 tritones. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, a step, another half. A step, and a third step. So you got 2 tritones for your diminished quadrad. That's about it. Now you have your inversions. Same thing. From here to here is a fourth because you're taking the G major scale, 1, 2, 3, 4. This is a major third, and we've already done that. So even if you take the, and then the same things here. A diminished fifth makes a tritone, a step, and a step. Diminished fifth is a tritone. Make a note of these things. And then perfect fifth, as opposed to diminished fifth on the diminished chord. Anyway, major third, minor third, diminished fifth, okay? So that's pretty much it in a nutshell, and you need to go through and write these things out. Then you need to take all of your chords in different keys. All right, the major, A major, a major third, perfect fifth, octave, major third, because you're analyzing it from the scale of the bottom note, the A major scale. Now then, here you're analyzing it from the C sharp major scale. Remember, C sharp major scale has all sharps. So C sharp to E sharp is the major third, which is 2 steps, and the half step lower is a minor third. So a major third and a minor third make up the major triad. A fourth here, major third inverted becomes a minor sixth. A minor third becomes a major sixth. This is analyzed from the A major scale, so major, minor, and then this is analyzed from the C major scale. Well, A is part of the C major scale, so it's a major sixth, that's a minor third. And the sum of the two intervals, a third and a sixth, make 9. It's called the rule of 9. So that's it. You've got to understand intervals, because chords are going to be spread out all over the place, and you've got to know within a chord what the interval is. And always when you consider an interval within a chord, it's this major scale of the bottom note of the interval that you're analyzing. So, what's that interval? Let's say it's of the D flat dominant. Right there. All right, A flat to C flat. Well, A flat major scale has 2 whole steps in the scale, and 2 whole steps is a major third, and it's less than that, a half step less, is a minor third. So A flat to C flat is a minor third. Work it out on all chords, versions, just see if you can see these principles that I've given you. I don't want to write this whole thing out for you, because otherwise that's just a lot of information that you'll never remember it. The only way you'll remember anything is if you actually do it yourself. It's called self-training, which is the most valuable education that you can give yourself. For others to give you information, well, they know it, but you don't. And you probably will never know it, because you've never done it yourself. Please understand that. And that's it. Talk to you later.